Thanks for staying with us. For today's Business Matters, we have Don Ma here with us. Don, it's good to see you. Talk to us about what's happening in the business world.
All right, good to see you as well today, Fiona, Chris, both of you. Happy Friday as well. Let me just get right into it here. So a lot happening today. I'll get through it one at a time. So let me start with S&P Global, or rather S&P lowering its outlook on Warner Bros. Discovery to negative here. So the rating company cited declines in Warner's cable TV business for this decision. The cable TV business, by the way, brings in about half of Warner Bros. Discovery's revenue, and it has been seeing a slump in ad dollars amid cord cutting by consumers. And by the way, the situation could get even worse with the potential loss of broadcasting rights for the NBA games. So the lowered outlook means, let me explain this to you, that S&P believes there is a higher chance that the company's credit rating could be downgraded in the near future, and the credit rating evaluates the company's ability to repay its debts. And next, supermarket chain Kroger plans to lower grocery prices by $1 billion. And this is coming after the completion of its proposed $25 billion merger with rival Albertsons. Now, Kroger had said that it would only lower grocery prices by about $500 million before at Albertsons locations, so that's an increase here. And the supermarket mega merger was expected to create a grocery empire with more than 4,000 stores, but the deal has faced several antitrust lawsuits over concerns that it would push up grocery prices. All right, moving on to Disney here. Seems like they may have a price problem on its hands, but it may also have an ambitious plan to fix it. This is according to the chairperson of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. So the company is saying that it knows its prices and its price hikes combined with rising inflation left many families unable to afford vacations there. So to keep its customers coming through the gates, Disney will offer a wide range of pricing and options. The chairperson said the company will provide as much access and flexibility as possible. Disney has touted lower pricing ticket options and value season deals at its resort hotels to allow families to visit, even if they're on a tight budget. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris has announced plans as well to lower housing costs. The Democratic presidential nominee proposed the plan during her first economic policy speech in North Carolina today. It includes $25,000 in down payment assistance for first-time homeowners. And in addition, Harris is expected to call for the construction of 3 million new housing units, including tax incentives as well for building starter homes. The vice president talked about targeting what she described as price gouging to lower the cost of food. And research is showing that home buyers frequently overlook critical areas like cellars, for example, and roofs as well, and attics. And this is all despite their potential to harbor significant issues. Now, in a recent experiment, a company called Toby used their eye tracking technology to explore what home buyers focus on during property viewings. Let's take a look at that.
This eye tracking technology reveals what house hunters pay attention to when viewing a property.
That's really nice.
And the results might surprise you.
Well, we find when buyers are viewing homes, they're spending lots of time on more superficial things.
The technology, developed by a company called Toby, tracks the focus of home buyers in real time. According to the research, home buyers often skip over key areas like cellars, roofs, and attics, despite their potential to harbor significant issues. Here is Daniel Copley of property portal Zoopla.
What they really need to be doing is looking at things like the brickwork, looking for signs of condensation or damp, the chimney, the boiler, the electrics, maybe even the Wi-Fi signal.
The second bedroom are quite similar sizes.
The eye tracking tool highlights what areas, items or rooms draw buyers' attention and which are neglected. John Ward is Toby's sales director.
The glasses have got 4 cameras built into the lenses and a number of illuminators. And the easiest way to describe what we do is, it's a little bit like the cat's eyes on the road. When your headlights hit it, it illuminates up and it's nice and bright. We're doing the same with the pupils. Totally harmless, doesn't do anything there. The cameras pick up this reflection, and then there's some very clever mathematics that work out where you're actually looking from that image.
The experiment revealed that home buyers often overlook structural elements of the property. Instead, they spend more time looking at furniture and decorative items. The trial found that only 38% of buyers' attention was on structural elements, while 54% was drawn to cosmetic features and furnishings.
Because you know you've got them on, it does make you look up and look at certain things. So I enjoyed the experience, I really did, in the fact that it made me more aware to be aware, and I think that's a good thing.
Britain's new government has set out to deliver 1.5 million more homes before the next election. According to Richard Donnell, Executive Director at Zoopla, this will result in an increased house buying activity in the years to come.
This isn't like buying a car every 3 years, and it's a complicated process, and there's more everyone can do, and technology like this sort of helps us and others work out, how to help consumers fill in those gaps and have a better experience.
And staying on housing, if you're in the market to rent an apartment, here's some good news actually. The rental market is slowing down, which means many tenants are now being given incentives to sign a lease. So with rising vacancy rates, some landlords are offering perks like free parking, for example, or weeks of free rent. And that's especially true in major metro areas like Atlanta and Charlotte. A third of rental listings on Zillow now offer an incentive to rent. A year ago, that number was about 25%. The shift is being driven in part by a building boom for apartments. In June, nearly 60,000 multifamily units were constructed across the U.S., and that's the biggest increase in supply in 50 years. Okay, and it's looking good on Wall Street today. Let me just quickly go through markets here before we wrap up here. So all this is despite a slow start to trading. S&P 500 closing out its best week of the year, actually, up almost 4% here. And for the week and as well 2% for the day. The Dow Jones up 3% for the week and 0.25% for the day, and the Nasdaq up 5% for the week and 0.2% for the day. Let's go through some individual companies here. Nvidia up a whopping 18% for the week, advancing 1.4% today. And that's about all that I'm going to cover today. So yeah, back to you guys. I think it's Friday, so we're all looking forward to this day coming to an end, if I'm being honest here.
I feel like the week never ends for me, Don. Now, I know that we already spoke about the Kamala Harris price caps, potential price caps if she's elected yesterday, but she just announced them today officially. And we had an interview with the senior economic columnist for the Epoch Times, Jeffrey Tucker, about her announcement. And he was saying something interesting. He was talking about how if even just announcing potential price caps if she's elected could actually lead to higher prices before she's elected or before they're implemented, because people might try to get as much as they can before they have a cap.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely people who support it. There's definitely people who are against it. I guess we just have to wait and see how this plays out when she actually implements it, how it plays out in the economy, whether it's going to have ripple effects, how it's going to impact different companies. Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on that.
Yeah, and I also think it's interesting to note that Nixon actually implemented similar policies back during his presidency, which he actually then admitted to regretting later in his memoir. So yeah, I definitely think we should keep an eye on that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Don Ma, thank you.
Thank you.